What's going on, guys? Magdallan here. It is about 2.5 days into the league, give or take. It's very early Sunday morning as I record this, and I thought it was a good time to pop in and let you guys know my initial thoughts about the league and how my build has been going. In terms of the leveling itself, I think Acts 1 to 3 are probably in the best state that I've ever seen them. I had a great time just kind of going through stuff. I didn't play very well. Turns out 2 months of a break is a little bit too much. I was rustier than I anticipated, so I was getting lost and making other mistakes. But as far as the actual gameplay, it was very good. And the rares seem like they're in a much better spot, particularly early on, as I said. I had a couple of uniques drop that I ended up using for a long time. And I also had, I think, 10 chromatic orbs drop in the first act. That was very useful. And it made me want to fight the rares as I encountered them. And overall, it just seemed like it was in a better spot. As the campaign continued, and this might be, again, partially due to my own poor play, but it did seem like we got more, back closer to the shitty situation where the rares are just kind of exaggerated and overly crazy, and they're chasing you through the map. That happened to me quite a bit at the end of the campaign, so maybe there's some tuning that needs to happen there, but I think we're well within the realm of reason here in terms of the difficulty and the rewards and all of that stuff for rares. So that's, 3 cheers for that. Fantastic. As far as the league mechanic goes, I started messing around with it right away when I encountered it. Maybe wasted more time than I should have there, but I have to say it's very engaging, very complex. Lots of difficulty that they've put in there. Feels like you're fighting a boss essentially the whole time, so I enjoyed that quite a bit. It seems like it's reasonably rewarding, but of course I haven't gotten very deep into the system yet, so we'll see how that shapes up, and we'll see what the more hardcore guys have to say as they really experiment and get their teeth sunk into this. Do make sure you do your quests in Act 2 and Act 7. I actually missed these all together until I watched Bower Mage's video on the topic, so yeah, go ahead and make sure you do that. You just have to run to the Fell Shrine Ruins and knock that out really fast, and that'll unlock your relics, I think they're called, and Dark Pacts, or whatever it is. I don't remember exactly what the name of that mechanic is. And then in terms of the build itself, I leaned pretty heavily on DS Lily's guide and used her POB, and that worked out very well. I have to say I'm not a huge fan of having to swap skills twice throughout the leveling process, and so I don't think I will be doing that again, but once we got everything going, we got to level 16, switched into Poisonous Concoction, got the first 3 labs done. It really started to feel pretty good at that point. One change I would make is, so far, I think I'm going to be using both Shield Charge and Flame Dash. I just can't live without some kind of an actual teleportation type movement skill, and so, but other than that, I'm pretty much just using it stock as it was described in the guide and the POB. So go ahead and look up her guide if you're wanting to get started with that, and if I have enough to say about the build and it's different enough as I progress, maybe I'll make a guide. But for now, I was just gonna make some update videos for the first week or so as I get a good base going for currency, and then maybe we'll look at making up our own build and doing a guide for that, or trying to find a more underserved build and make a guide for that. I think Poisonous Concoction is pretty well fleshed out now by the content creator community. So, and then in terms of loot, I feel like it's still a little bit worse than it was before 3.19, but again, sort of similar to how the rares felt in the leveling process. I think we're well within the realm of reason. It seems like stuff is dropping, and I'm not constantly thinking about how much mood is dropping. It doesn't feel like I've been, hyper nerfed like it did in 3.19, and so I think that's good overall. In general, it just seems like GGG might have nailed it. If the league mechanic turns out to be really rewarding and people are engaged with it long term, and the experience of dealing with the rares and the mods and all of that stuff and the loot continues to be, on this trajectory, if I add in that I'll have my full Atlas going and the farm's going to be going on, I'm going to be blasting, having a good time, dropping stuff, this could shape up to be a really fun league. And we haven't even gotten any of the cool new items or anything yet. That's all still to come. And so as far as first impressions go, this is, I think, a very good step considering how bad 3.19 was. And so, yeah, that's about all I've got for now. We're solidly into yellow maps now, and hopefully I'm going to get into reds and get the Atlas finished out today and maybe early tomorrow, and then I'll be back with another update video and let you know how that's going. And so yeah, if any of this was interesting to you, please do hit that like and subscribe button, and I will see you in the next video. I appreciate you.